welcome to my podcast, Genesis, where I'm your host, Genesis. Welcome or welcome back. For those of you that don't know, Genesis means a beginning or a beginning to some. The beginning or a beginning to some. Hi, before I jump into today's topic and see where this goes, I want to let you know that if you click the description down below, you can see information on how to reach me, how to get on this podcast, how we can arrange something. So go ahead and hit me up there and we'll go from there. I finally got a chair. I haven't set it up yet. It's literally right behind me. Oh, no, it's right down. It's right down here. Never mind. I remembered I moved it. And a new mic. So let's turn this around. Hopefully it doesn't make a lot of noise. So she's prepared. The only thing I need is the plug that comes with this to connect to my laptop. But other than that, I'm pretty set. So yeah, click the description and let's arrange something. Aside from that, let's go ahead and get started. Today's podcast episode is going to be pretty short. I feel that it's going to be short just because it's kind of like a straightforward message. So I wanted to talk about what happens when you lose consequences. And I still wanted to talk about Andrew Tate a little bit and other influencers on social media. Great examples of what happens when you lose consequences. But then you face them in a way, but I feel like they don't get fully canceled because they still have a huge support system behind them. For example, Andrew Tate got as far as he did because he did not bear any consequences to his actions. The Ace family, they continue to be super corrupt and steal from people essentially and still face no consequences. Gabby Hanna, she seems to still have a following and face no consequences. I feel like the consequences that they go through aren't impactful enough to inspire them to search for change or create change or growth. So those guys are perfect examples of that. Who was it years ago that had a discount code for makeup brushes, and she said, you guys need to buy these, they're amazing, and all you have to pay is the shipping and handling, and people started to attack her because the quality of the brushes was not good, and they were really upset. And I feel like this happens a lot. Mostly you see it with influencers. I'm not saying that all influencers are terrible, but sometimes power can get to you and make you become a kind of terrible person. So with that, I want to talk to you about the fable of Gyges, a lesson from Plato. So Gyges was a shepherd in this fable. If you've read The Alchemist, or if you haven't, shepherds back in the day were people of high morals, good standing, honest, and just true to themselves and admirable, honest people. So in this fable, Gyges becomes invisible and anonymous because of a ring that he finds. Through that invisibility and becoming anonymous, he seduces a queen, kills her husband, and takes over an entire kingdom. So it's kind of crazy to think that through his invisibility, he showed who he truly was. So I feel like when it comes to influencers, I guess, there's a lot that happens behind closed doors that make them become someone who you didn't think they were, but in a sense, that's who they were all along. So that's what this fable is basically saying, is the ring didn't necessarily make him become corrupt. It didn't turn anything in him. It just showed his true colors. So it's really interesting to think about influencers that have gone down like the deep end of darkness and just like dishonesty. Plato also believes that invisibility and anonymity is the only barrier between being a just and unjust human. And I think that's really freaking crazy because it is true. A lot of us do change character behind closed doors. We do adjust accordingly to the people that we are around, which brings me to my next topic. So there was a historian educator by the name of Plutarch. I'm pretty sure I'm saying that wrong. It's Plutarch. Plutarch? I don't know. Anyways, historian educator that believed humans are social creatures who constantly observe people around them and imitate them. So it's super curious to know that when people are around you, you're influenced by them. That's what I said in my last video, that the people that Andrew Tate surrounds himself with are kind of like, they have a lifestyle that they desire and cannot have without him. So they imitate him, they act like him to continue to have access to that lifestyle. That's my assumption, right? That's my theory. So when they would have to have that opportunity to leave that friendship, when they realize like, hey, it's my opportunity to grow, it's what do they grow into if that lifestyle is all they know? I'm not defending them, by the way. But anyways, Plutarch also believes that by providing better patterns, you can steer these people into a better path. Again, further proving that when you surround yourself by certain people, you tend to become like them. They make an impact on you, whether it's big or small, like I said in my last podcast episode. I didn't say this, but birds of a feather flock together. Which made me come to think, like all the friendships that I've gone through, relationships I've gone through and experienced and learned from, what I should expect or what I should want going forward when it comes to new relationships and how I can grow from past ones. Because Plutarch is actually correct. When you surround yourself by being with negative people who are constantly just like not positive, then that reflects on your behavior. Same way, like when you're at work and you're in a bad mood, your demeanor, your behavior, your attitude, all of that reflects on work ethic. So, long story short, when you are behind closed doors, who are you? And is that person true to who you show the world? And aside from that, what impact are you making on your peers, and is it positive or negative? Also, something that I find really interesting about the fable of Gyges is the lack of critical thinking when the outside world is removed. And it makes me wonder about how people, I guess, showcase a different demeanor depending on who they're around, and things that you do on a day-to-day basis, like I guess obviously not in cases of like killing and adultery and all that stuff, but in cases of where like for some reason a knife falls off the counter and naturally you lose critical thinking and go to try to catch it. I don't know if I've ever done that, but that's just a thought that I had. The lack of critical thinking that becomes when nobody is around. I think that's just so funny. It's very minuscule, very small, and not serious or dangerous to anyone but yourself, but still kind of funny. But anyways, what I was saying is I'm really curious to see where the dynamic goes with who I have on my podcast and what birds am I flocking with long term or short term, whatever it means. I don't know why I said long term, but I meant long term in the sense of like my podcast and where it's headed, and I'm super excited to see where that goes. And I don't know, excited to share parts of my life with you guys, with people that have been part of my life. So, yeah. I'm going to end this podcast here simply because that's how simple it is. I really didn't have anything else to say other than what I said. So I hope you guys have a wonderful night wherever you find yourself, and I will catch you on the flippity flip. And remember that your vibe attracts your tribe.